if you didn't get a band, we're only going to be using it for one exercise, so it won't be a big deal. But my expectation is that moving forward, we'll have that fixed. If you haven't checked in, just find Lex after class. Everyone checked in? Oh, wow. Okay, great. Excellent. So everyone can get down on the mat. I just want to briefly introduce myself and then kind of go over the flow of class for not just today, but for the rest of the season. So as I said earlier, my name is Dennis. I'm one of the leaders here. This is my 4th year with noname. I've been pacing the 3-hour group in New York City across 4 different programs. So I've been doing this few years now. I work doing physical therapy and personal training at Resilience Physical Therapy. So that has helped shape how I envision this class moving forward, is kind of like a prehab class. So a lot of balance, a lot of mobility. And so that's my goal for everyone here, is just to get you guys to the starting line healthy. You have great coaches that have great programming. You have excellent pacers. So this is just something to complement what you're getting on Tuesday and Saturday. And even if you have a chance to see Vivian, who's going to start being here next week, if I'm not mistaken. So the general flow of things here, we're going to go through 6 different mobility exercises. So warming up the ankles, the knees, the hips, even the spine and the shoulders at times. So we're just going to spend a couple minutes there. Then we're going to go through 2 different isometric exercises to warm up the glutes, get those activated so that when we get into our squats and deadlifts, we're able to get into that full range of motion and not feel so stiff. Then we're going to go through 2 different supersets of a core exercise and a plyometric exercise. So that's a jumping exercise. It's either going to be 2 feet or 1 foot, or it's going to be side to side or up and down. They're generally going to be pretty short. You already have a lot of pounding during the week, so I just want to focus on some explosiveness, something a little bit faster pace than you're used to, just so that you build strong tendons, strong bones, and really working all the muscles in the feet. After that, we're going to go through 4 rounds of 3 exercises for 20 seconds, 20-second intervals. So we're going to go 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20-second rest, then 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds rest 4 times. And we'll do that for 6 different exercises in total. There will be modifications for everything. So if something doesn't feel right, if you hurt your knee on Tuesday's run or Saturday's long run, just let me know, and I'll try and be here early on before class, so you can always pull me aside and say, this is bothering me. If there are any modifications for this, let me know and I'll come by. Thank you all for being here again, and I'm excited for this season. Just very quickly, who's here at noname for the first time? Wow. All right. Give yourself a hand. First marathon? All right. Awesome. So if you guys saw those hands, the newbies, the people that have been here before, I'm looking at you. Make sure you welcome them and kind of show them everything that you've learned over the course of the years that you've been here. Share your expertise and be available. So we're going to start off in a kneeling position. Okay, I like to start off by warming up the toes and the ankles. So we're going to practice some toe sits. So from the kneeling position, you're going to sit onto your heels with the toes curled beneath you. Then you're going to come back up. Then you're going to sit back on your heels. The toes are flat. When the toes are flat, you should feel a little bit of a stretch on the top of the foot, the shins, and if you lean back far enough, maybe a little bit in the hips. Okay, we're just going to go back and forth 10 more times. Okay, there's a space, there's a mat right over here. All right, you're just going to need 1 weight. Okay, we're going to go back and forth 10 times. Okay, one of my favorite exercises to start off with. Very, very, very few people pay any attention to the feet and the ankle, which kind of behooves me because it's so important, right? It's the first thing that makes contact with the ground. Two of the most common running injuries, Achilles and plantar fasciitis. I don't know if anyone's dealt with any of them. Yeah, I see a few hands. Yeah. So I'm always thinking from the injury backwards. Okay, so everything that we do here is what I would do, what I would recommend for someone dealing with some sort of injury. All right, now we're gonna get into an all fours position, and we're gonna practice some hip cars. Sometimes you might hear them called hip circles. We're gonna extend one leg back so the sole of the foot is facing the ceiling. Turn the knee out and then come around like you're going over a big hurdle. And we're just gonna do 5 slowly forward. You wanna try and get the knee to be 90 degrees, parallel to the ground. Okay, so big hip circles. Okay, 5 forward, and then 5 backwards on the same leg. Okay, we're trying to get the hip is a ball and socket joint. We're trying to get the ball of that femur to move in every part of that hip socket. Okay, the biggest hip circle you've ever done. 5 forward on one side, 5 backwards on that same side, and then we're gonna switch sides. If you haven't already, we can switch sides. And we're gonna do 5 forward, 5 backwards. Okay, you wanna try and have both elbows straight. How we doing, Jess? Good? All right. All right. Good. All right, we should be wrapping up there. From there, again, from this tall kneeling position, we're gonna extend one leg out to the side. I'm gonna move over here so you can see me, Gabs. You're gonna extend one foot out to the side. Okay, that leg is gonna be straight. We're gonna sit back, and then that foot is gonna rotate out. Okay, then you're gonna come back, and then the toes are gonna make contact with the mat. So as you sit back, the toe is gonna point away from you. You're still facing straight. Come back, toes are touching the mat. Okay, sit back, toes are pointing out. Okay, you should feel that on the inner part of your thigh. If you don't, then you can extend that leg a little bit further away from you, and then I promise you'll feel it. Okay, we're just gonna do 3 more, and then we're gonna switch sides. Is anyone having a hard time grasping this movement? Whatever's more comfortable for you. Okay, if the toes are curled, if they're uncurled. This one, I'm more focused about the hip than the foot. So whatever's more comfortable for you. Yes, if you haven't switched already, you can switch. All right. Okay, again, you should be feeling this inner hip, inner thigh. You feel it, she feels it. All right, great. Okay, excellent. Great. We're not gonna spend too much time here. Just I do wanna get to the more fun stuff. We're gonna lie face down now. And if you've ever taken a yoga class before, we're gonna do a cobra position. Okay, you don't have to come up very high, but as you come up, you're gonna look over your right shoulder and try and look at your left heel. Then you're gonna come back to center, lower down to the mat, come back up, look over your left shoulder, try and find your right heel. Okay, we're gonna go back and forth just 5 times on each side. back up over your shoulder. All right. A lot of us sit at a desk all day or carry a heavy bag. By the time you get to Tuesday night run, everyone's like this, like huddling over. So we want to really open up the chest. Okay. Okay, great. From here, we're gonna get in a deep lunge position. So one leg is in front, foot flat. Opposite hand is gonna be inside of that front ankle. We're gonna reach towards the ceiling, turning towards the side of that front leg. Okay, and if you haven't picked up that back knee, you can pick up that back knee to really feel the stretch in the glute and low back. We're gonna reach to the ceiling, and then we're gonna lower that shoulder inside of that front leg. So then we're gonna go inside of that front leg, turn away from the front leg, and then back. So we're gonna go back and forth towards that front leg, and then lower that shoulder inside of that front leg. We're gonna go back and forth 5 times on each side. Okay. Again, if you're able to pick up that back knee, you can do that, and you're going to feel that a little bit more in the glutes, low back. Okay. Always try to have some rotation. There's always going to be some sort of rotation in this hour that we have here. Okay. I know running, we're always moving forward, but we want to make sure that we have good mobility in the neck, the spine. Okay. There is some rotation in the hips when we're running, so we want to make sure we have that. Great. So if you grab the band, we're going to loop that right above the knees. If you don't have it, sorry, we're going to stay on the mat. You're going to loop it above the knees, and we're going to get into a side plank position with the knees bent. Okay? Some people have an idea of what's coming, but you don't. Okay, so you're going to loop it above the knees. You're going to lie on your side, knees bent. You're going to pick up the hips. The knee stays touching the floor, and then you're going to pick up the top knee as well. We're going to hold that position for 20 seconds starting now. Okay, so the bottom knee stays touching the floor. That top knee is up. Okay. The heels are together. Okay, 5 more seconds. You're going to push up away from the, there you go. Okay. And time and switch. You should be feeling that in both hips, maybe a little bit in the obliques as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we just have 2 exercises like this. Right after this exercise, we're done with the band. So that's why it wasn't a big deal that we didn't have enough bands for everyone today. Again, we'll fix that for future Thursdays. And time. All right, one of my favorite exercises to kind of get you ready for either a workout or whether it be a running workout, weight workout. Okay, really working on that trunk stability. All right, so like I said, we're gonna get rid of the bands. Next up, we're gonna get into a bird dog. So from that tabletop position, we're gonna extend the right arm, left leg. You're gonna reach to the wall behind you with the heel, not with the toes. So no ballerina feet. You're gonna reach back with your heel. Okay, and we're gonna hold that for 20 seconds starting now. You're gonna be looking straight down at the mat so as to not strain your neck. You might even feel a little bit of a stretch at the back of the neck. Okay, let's try and have a straight line from the fingertips all the way to the heel. So make sure that heel is not higher than the back. Okay, and switch. And up. Wow, you guys look great. If you're a little wobbly, just means you need some practice. That's all. 3, 2, 1. All right, great. So now we can stand on up. We're going to get into our first round of our plyometric and core exercise. So we're going to get into a lunge position. Okay, the feet are about 3 feet apart, 1 foot back. Okay, in a 90-90, so that back knee is just above the ground. And from here, if you've been here before, you've seen this before. Okay, we're going to explode off of that front leg. We're going to go for 10 seconds. That back leg doesn't move. It's just that front leg is just going to come up off of the ground, and we're going to go for 10 seconds. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Just that front foot is coming off of the ground. We're keeping our tall posture. That back leg is not moving. And time. Hard? Yeah, that's why we only do 10 seconds. Other side now. In 3, 2, 1, go. Just that front foot is coming off of the ground. You're looking straight ahead. For 3, 2, 1, time. All right, now we're going to get down to the mat. We're going to get in a push-up position. We will be doing push-ups at some point, not today, but this is called a tall plank position, also a push-up position. From here, we're going to reach your opposite shoulder, opposite hand. So right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder, trying to minimize the sway. Okay? And starting now. We're going to go just for 20 seconds. Try not to shift your weight to either side. Okay, spreading the feet apart is going to make it a little bit easier. Okay? And time. Back on up. Woo! I'm hearing some groans already. All right. Lunge position. In 3, 2, 1. That front foot is coming off of the ground. Just 10 seconds. 6, 8, 9, 10. And up and switch. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up. Back down to the plank shoulder tap. We're going to go for 20 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. The slower you go, the harder this exercise is. So if you find it easy, slow it down. Okay, I see a lot of hips high up. Try and lower those hips just a tiny bit. 3, 2, 1, time. All right. That's 2 rounds. Now we got 2 rounds of another set. Okay, so, all right, thank God that's over, right? This next one, again, if you've been to this class before, you've probably done this. We're gonna move side to side now, okay? So you're gonna stand on one end of your mat. You might need to turn to face either of these walls. We're gonna glide across the mat to the other side. Okay, we're gonna go side to side for 20 seconds. Okay, if you can stay on one leg, that would be ideal, okay? We're gonna go for 20 seconds starting now. That's all right, you guys got some extra fitness in. Okay, just side to side. Stay low. Okay, we're controlling that left to right movement of the ankle, which when we're running forward, that ankle needs to control that left to right movement. In 3, 2, 1, time. Back down to the mat. Okay, we did face down. Now we're doing face up. Now we're going to do a hollow hold. Okay, if you're not familiar with a hollow hold, you're going to lie on your back. You're going to have your legs in the air. Your Shoulder blades are off of the mat, and then you're gonna reach for your feet, and we're gonna hold that for 20 seconds. Easy. Breathe. 18, 19, 20. Good. Back on up. I always say this is the hardest part of class, okay? The non-weight stuff. All right, we get the weights. Everyone's familiar with the weights, okay? All right, back to the skater hops and go. Left to right. If you can stay on one foot the whole time, even better. Okay. And time. Back down to the mat. Last round of hollow hold, and then we'll take a quick water break before we get into the weights. All right. In 3, 2, 1. All right, good. Nice, Junior. Breathe. If it's too much, if you bend the knees, it makes it a little bit easier. Okay, try to get at least your shoulder blades off of the mat. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, that's the hardest part of class. We're gonna take a quick 30-second water break. So I should have said this earlier, but now we know for the future. Make sure you fill up your water bottles before class. But you got like 30 seconds. All right. Woo! We got about 10 more seconds. All right. So we're not going to be using weights for every exercise, not today or in the future. So out of 6 exercises that we do for strength, we might use weights for 3 or 5 of them. Okay, so we're not going to be using weights for all of them. Again, I like to have a lot of calisthenic prehab exercises, so that things that you can do on your own at home as well. Okay, so if there's something, I always have ankle issues. Take these ankle exercises with you. Try them at home. All right, this first exercise is one that I teach almost every week for anyone with any ankle issues. You're gonna stand on one leg. You're gonna turn away from that leg, and then look, I already lost my balance. We're gonna come back. So we're gonna turn away and then come back. Okay, turn away and come back. Okay, and we're gonna do that for 15 seconds because you've already been doing for 5, and go. Okay, standing on one leg, turning away and turning back. Try and stay in that one leg. If you anchor that big toe to the ground, it's gonna make it a lot easier. This you should be feeling in the inner part of your foot and arch. Okay, and switch sides. So I generally recommend this exercise for people with Achilles injuries, plantar fasciitis, post-tib. So that's the inner part of the calf and foot all the way down to the bottom. If you've ever had any of those parts of your body inflamed or hurt, then this is a good exercise. Okay, and rest. All right, moving on to the next one. We're gonna grab our weight. We're gonna hold it vertically, horizontally in front of you, whichever one you prefer. We're gonna have one foot in front, and the back foot is only gonna be a few inches behind. And then we're gonna lower that back knee to the ground, keeping our posture straight. Straight down. Okay, we really want the knee to go over the toes, because that's what happens when we run downhill. When we're running fast, that knee goes over the toes. Okay, so not so much, not too far behind. They should be pretty close together. Okay, and we're gonna go for 10 more seconds. Okay, and switch. Okay, and down. Good. All right, really working on that. You should be feeling a Achilles stretch in the back, a little bit in that front knee. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, great. We're gonna stay standing. We're gonna create some more distance in between both feet, and then you're gonna shift your weight to the back. Okay, so you're gonna be leaning back on that back leg, and then you're just gonna raise that back heel. Okay, you're gonna be holding that weight still. You're just gonna be lifting that back heel. Okay. Okay, you guys should be feeling that in that back calf muscle, that back Achilles, just leaning back, lifting that back heel as high as you can. Okay, pushing through that big toe, just 5 more seconds. Okay. And switch sides. And up. Okay, you see me, Junior? So we're working on that big toe mobility and then strengthening that back calf. Okay, for things like any Achilles injury. This is gonna make sure that it's strong enough to withstand all those hills and speed workouts. Okay, we can put down the weight. We're gonna come back to that first exercise. Standing and twist. Standing, twist, trying to stand on one leg this whole time. Okay. The faster you go, the harder it is. So if you find this easy, which I don't think I've seen anyone not lose their balance. Okay, and switch sides. Okay. Again, if you think about anchoring that big toe down to the ground, you should have an easier time standing upright. All right, now we can go ahead and grab our weight again. Vertically, horizontally. Okay, and we're just gonna go straight down, looking straight ahead, and go. I'm just gonna be pacing the room just to make sure everyone can do it correctly. If your weight is light and it feels easy, you can hold it up overhead and do the same thing. That's just gonna make it a little bit harder. Okay, that's only if you find it easy. All right. And switch sides. Okay, good. Again, the feet should be pretty close together. Keep that chest up, looking straight ahead. Okay, good. Excellent. All right, and time. Switching legs. You're gonna lean back a little bit, shift your weight to that back leg, and then raise that back heel, excuse me. Okay, raising that heel as high as you can. You should feel a stretch underneath the big toe. Should feel that calf working. Everything's working. Love that. Okay, we can switch sides now. Okay, great. Horizontally, vertically, whatever is more comfortable. Hugging your weight like it's the last one here. Three, 2, 1, time. All right, we're gonna take just a 20-second rest break, and then we're gonna resume with that single leg stand and twist. All right, we got 10 more seconds, just enough for you to catch your breath. All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back with the single leg stand and twist. Okay. Again, you may have been to harder HIIT classes with all these jumps and weights and sleds and stuff. My main goal, again, is to make sure you get to the starting line. So some exercises will be easy. Some of them will be a lot of balance. Okay, some of them will be some coordination and stuff, but okay, and switch sides. So every exercise is with an injury in mind. Okay. Okay, and time. Back up with the kickstand squats. Grab your weight. Okay. Again, if you have a light weight, hold it up overhead. That's going to make it a little bit harder. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay, keeping the chest up, looking straight ahead. Excellent. 3, 2, 1, and switch sides. Okay, try and keep the chest up. Lower that back knee down to the mat if you can. If you can't touch that back knee to the mat, don't worry, don't get concerned. We'll work on that. Okay. And time, switch legs. Then we're going to shift our weight to the back leg and then raise that back heel, pushing through the big toe. So as you pick up the heel, you should feel a stretch underneath that big toe. Yeah. You feel that all here? No? When you raise the heel there. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just gotta shift your weight back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now you feel it. Okay, now switch sides. Yep. Okay, good. Remember to shift your weight back a little bit. A little bit challenging to do single leg heel raises without being able to hold on to anything, but just shifting your weight back and holding a weight is going to make that a little bit challenging. All right, and rest. We got another 15-second rest break. Then we got one more round. One more round of these, quick water break, and then we got another 4 rounds of three more exercises, and then we start to wind down. All right? All right. So from the top, single leg stand and twist in 3, 2, 1. Hopefully this last round is a little bit easier than the first round. I know it is for me. I fell over that first time. Okay. If you find it easy, just speed it up a little bit. Okay, and switch sides. In 3, 2, 1. All right. Good. 3, 2, 1. We can grab our weights. Last round of the kickstand squats. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Dumbbell on the loose. Okay, all right, we're good. Again, feet are pretty close together. So when the feet are close together and we have a smaller base of support, you're gonna feel that more in that front leg. Okay, if the legs are really far apart, then you're gonna feel it more evenly distributed, and we really want to emphasize that front leg doing all of the work, or most of the work, I should say. Okay, we can switch sides. All right, good. Again, if you're getting a little bit fatigued and it's harder to touch that back knee to the ground, just get as low as you can comfortably. Okay, again, keeping the chest up, looking straight ahead. We're just gonna go for 3 more seconds. 2, 1, and time. Switch legs, shift your weight back, and then raise that back heel. Feel that stretch on the big toe. Okay, good. Good. Like that, everyone's leaning back. Okay, good. Okay, now we can switch legs. 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. Yep. And then lower that back heel. It's just lifting up the heel and back. All right. And time. All right, we can put the weight down. Again, we're going to take another 30-second rest break if you need a little bit more water. And then we'll get started with the last 3 exercises before we start to wind down. All right. Okay, so that first round was a little bit more foot, ankle, and then the quads. Okay. This next round, we're going to do a little bit of hamstring, hip flexors, and some arms. All right. Okay. All right, so the first exercise we're going to start off with is a single leg deadlift. If you have a weight that's a little bit too heavy, you can hold it with 2 hands, okay? If it's not too heavy for you, we're going to hold it in the opposite side as the standing leg. Okay, so I'm going to stand on my left and I'm going to hold it in my right hand. Okay, I'm going to lower my chest until I'm about 90 degrees and I'm going to lift that leg up and then come right back. Okay, we're aiming to close to 90 degrees. Okay, slight bend in that standing leg. Okay, again, you're going to hold the weight in the opposite side as the standing leg. Okay, and if it's too heavy, as the opposite side of the standing leg. Correct. Okay, we're going to hinge down. You should feel a stretch in the hamstring of the standing leg. Okay, if you feel it in your low back and not your hamstring, chances are you're not lifting the opposite leg high enough. Okay, we're going to go for 10 more seconds. Okay. And now we're going to switch sides. I'm going to be pacing around the room because I know this is an exercise, while it's very common, it's also very commonly done incorrectly where people feel it in the low back. So if you feel it in your low back or not sure you're doing it correctly, don't be shy, raise your hand, and then we can problem solve together. Okay? Again, you should be feeling it in the hamstring of that standing leg. Okay, and time. From here, we're gonna hold the weight up overhead, and we're just gonna do some slow marches. Okay, starting now. If this feels too easy for you, you're gonna hold it with 1 hand. If you have a 10, you can hold it with 1 hand. Okay, we're gonna be doing 4 rounds of these, so just each round, you'll just switch to the opposite hand. Okay? All right. Good. 5 more seconds. Okay, and down. You can set the weight down. We're gonna get onto the mat. Okay. We're gonna sit in a long sit position so the knees are straight, the hands are gonna be behind you. We're gonna get into a reverse plank, so that's like this. And from here, you're gonna bring 1 knee to your chest at a time. Okay, we're gonna go for 20 seconds, keeping the hips up as high as possible. Okay. Bring the knee to your chest, knee to your chest. Okay. Like that. 3, 2, 1, and time. Always try to sneak in a little bit of arms. People think, oh, running workouts are always legs, 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 legs. No, this is very important for posture and again for opening up the chest a little bit. Okay. All right, back to the top, single leg RDLs. In 3, 2, 1, go. Again, if your weight is too heavy to do with one hand, you can grab it with two hands. Okay. Again, if you feel it in your low back, that means you're probably not raising that opposite leg high enough. Good. Okay, we can switch sides now. And go. All right, you guys doing great. Remember, holding the weight in the opposite side of the standing leg. So hold in that. There you go. Yep. Just kick the back leg back and then back. Okay. There you go. Okay. There you go. That's it, Junior. That's it. And time. Now going up back to the march, overhead and march. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, again, if you're doing single arm, we're doing the opposite arm now. If you have a 20-pound, I think you can just hold it with two hands. And the slower you go, the harder it is. Okay. And time. Okay, we can set the weights down. Back to that reverse plank. Okay. Hands behind you. Pick up the hips as high as you can. And then from there, toes pointed up, knee to chest. Good. Just a few more seconds. Keep those hips up. Keep those hips up as high as possible. You should feel that in one hamstring at a time. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right. We got 2 more rounds before we start to wind it down. All right. 3rd round of the single leg deadlift. In 3, 2, 1. Great. Excellent. Yep, you're going to hold it in this hand. Yep. Nope. There you go. Yeah. You're going to hold it in the same side that's going out. Yep, there you go. Okay. All right, we can switch sides now. Okay. Again, holding it opposite side as the standing leg. There you go. Yeah, if you hold it like this, you're gonna, you see? Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1, and time. Overhead march, opposite hand if you're doing single arm, and go. Okay. If you're holding it with 2 hands, try and keep those elbows straight. Try and touch the weight to the ceiling. Okay. Keep those shoulders down. And reach for the ceiling. Okay. Toes always pointed up when we're doing our marches, because that's how we should be landing when we're hitting the ground. Okay. And time. Second to last one of the reverse planks marches. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. We're in the home stretch. Okay, get those hips up as high as possible. We only have 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. We're gonna take a 10-second break. We got one more round of each exercise, and then we're gonna start to wind down, okay? All right. It's hot in here, and there's usually a little bit better ventilation. All right. Last round of the single leg RDLs in 3, 2, 1. There, now you got it right. Now you got it right. Yes. Good. Okay, we want to control that descent. No herky-jerkiness. Control it. Okay, the weight doesn't need to necessarily go all the way down to the floor, okay? Okay, and switch sides. 3, 2, 1. Good, nice and controlled, nice and controlled. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last round of the overhead hold and march. Again, if you're doing one arm, it's the opposite as the last round. If you're doing two hands, it's both together. Okay, home stretch. Okay, two hands. You can hold it up, two hands. Two hands, yeah, yeah. That's a heavy weight, Junior. Yeah, I want to make sure two hands. Okay. And time. Last round of the reverse plank knee drive. Okay, if this is too much for your arms, you have two options. Okay, if you are struggling with these, you have two options. One is doing the dips, just the arms, straighten out the elbows. The other one is bringing one knee to your chest. Okay, so you have two options for this last round if you struggle to do both. Okay, otherwise, reverse plank knee drive starting now, last 20 seconds. Okay. 5 more seconds. You got it. You got it. Breathe, breathe. Okay, and time. Okay, so if you've been to my class before, you know that I like to end each session by playing some very slow meditative music. We close our eyes. You're going to sit in whatever position feels most comfortable. A lot of people tend to lie on their back and have their legs up against the wall. You can just sit crisscross applesauce, or you can just lie on your back, whatever feels more comfortable for you. All right. I like to take into account that we know we all live very stressful lives here in New York, and marathon training is just another thing that's on our plate. So I always like to try and relax and start the recovery process from this week, from this workout right now. Okay, so get into whatever position is most comfortable for you, and we're just gonna spend 3 minutes, okay? That concludes our class for today. Just give yourselves a hand. Showing up. If at any point during the season you guys have any questions from some ache or pain that arises, feel free to reach out to me via Instagram or email. I believe my contact info is in the emails. If not, you can find me on a Thursday. I'm gonna be showing up sporadically on Saturdays to get in my own long runs. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Um, if you're, unless you really have to go, if you don't mind just sticking around very quickly, we can get together and just take a quick group photo. Lex, do you mind taking a group shot for us, please?